Hello everyone, this is Christina from Pretty in Pink Supply, and today I'm going to show you how to make these adorable little resin hair clips using our resin metal shaped blanks. So they have nothing on the inside and they have like a little ledge, so just enough for you to be able to pour some resin in there. In today's tutorial, you're going to need UV resin. If you have AB resin, you can use that as well. You're going to need some clips, some pouring cups, some stirrers, a little spoon for your glitters, and gloves. Most importantly, you're gonna need gloves. I'm also gonna be using my heat gun and my UV lamp, and I will link everything in the description below for you guys. Okay, so you're gonna take your UV resin, and we are just gonna hold it upside down for a few seconds before we start squeezing it out, just to allow any bubbles that are going to the bottom to kind of rise to the top. And then we're just gonna I normally put about 1/4 of an inch into the cup, and that gives me more than enough. I could probably get 2 or 3 clips out of what I use right there. So we're just gonna add a little bit of glitter. I'm gonna use this little spoon. I'm just gonna maybe do like that much, not very much, because I'm also gonna add a little bit of this one over here, kind of do a little mix. And got that. And then in this one, I'm gonna do a star. And then in this one, I'm gonna do the star glitter for our star clip. And same thing, I might do a little bit more of this since I'm not mixing it with anything else. All right. And you just want to give it a nice good stir, get your glitter mixed in really well. And then once it's all mixed up, we're going to use our heat gun and we're just going to get out any bubbles while it is still in our cup. All right, so I have both of my glitters mixed in. And if you look closely, you can see a few little bubbles, which we don't want. And anytime you're working with resin, I always recommend trying to do your heat gun before you pour it, because that's gonna get rid of the majority of your bubbles, and then you won't ruin your molds or anything like that. So try and do it in your cup. This is the heat gun that I'm gonna be using, and it has 2 different settings. There's a high and a low, or vice versa. And I'm just gonna put it on the high one, and just do it for maybe 10-15 seconds. Try and get your UV resin kind of liquidy so it pours in really easy and there's no bubbles. Okay, so you guys can kind of see it's more liquidy now. There's a lot less bubbles. I hardly see any, so it's good to go. So what we're gonna do next is we are gonna grab a piece of paper. I already have one folded. Just fold it maybe 4 or 5 times, and you're going to put your clip just like that, just so it kind of sits level and it's not like going at an angle or a slant. And I'm just gonna pour my glitter in there and just start in the center. And you don't want it to overflow, so make sure that you gently kind of direct where it's going. And then you can use your little stir to kind of level it out. Okay, so I'm just gonna use my little silicone stirrer, and I'm just gonna kind of make sure we fill in any parts that don't have resin, kind of spread it out evenly. And then if any like overflows slightly, you want to do this before you put it under your UV light. Just kind of clean it up a little bit. Okay, so this one is ready to go. I'm just gonna kind of slide it out of the way and we'll just do these together. I'm gonna pour my resin into the star one. The star one sits more flat, so I'm just gonna kind of leave it the way it is. I might use something just to hold it up when I stick it under, just so it doesn't like go one way or the other. But I'm gonna go ahead and pour it in. For this one, you just wanna do a little drop in the center, and then you're gonna kind of spread it out as you go, and you can add more at the end. So with my little silicone stick, I'm just going to kind of spread out the resin, get it into the little tips of my star, kind of make sure it's all in there. And then you can pour more as you need it, but I would start off with less and then do more. Okay, so I'm done with my star. I'm just gonna slide it under there and just kind of use the tip of the paper just to kind of hold it up, if you guys can see that. And we're gonna do it for 3 minutes just to let it set, and then we'll make sure it's all ready to go. A tip when using silicone is that once it's, especially with UV, like once it's hardened, you could put this under there with it and it'll peel right off. Okay, so our clips are all done. Look how nice that turned out. You can really like come up with some really cool creations. If you wanted to, you could also top it off with a little bit of resin just to give it a more smooth look, and then put it under the UV light one more time. And here is our circle one. Look how cute that came out. And these were just super simple to make, especially if you're doing the UV, and it stays in great. I made these ones maybe like a month ago with the UV that I had left, but now that we have UV resin back in stock, I went ahead and did a video for you guys. That way you guys can do something just as fun. And if you do, be sure to tag us on Instagram or Facebook, and I will be sure to link all of these things in the description below for you guys. And if you don't already follow, be sure to like and subscribe to this video. Thanks again.